Hello everyone, welcome to Screen Scream. I'm Viola. I'm very excited right now because today we're going to talk about animations. I'm not a big animation fan, but I do watch a lot of animations. For example, I'm now watching the old Spider-Man and his amazing friends on Netflix, and I also watch some Japanese anime. And today we're going to talk about animations produced in more than one country. So if you are an animation lover, look forward to today's episode. Let's listen to the first new movie we're going to talk about today. Mia and Me, the Hero of Centopia. Mia discovers her magic stone is part of an ancient prophecy and embarks on a thrilling journey to the farthest islands of Centopia to face a great evil and shape her own destiny. The first new movie we're going to talk about today is a German animation. Actually, I'm not so familiar with any animation from Germany. So when I saw the trailer of Mia and Me, the Hero of Centopia, when I went to one of the screenings one time, I was very surprised. I mean, I didn't know this animation is from Germany at the time, and all the characters in the movie are speaking in English. So I only realized that this movie is from Germany when I was preparing for this episode. I think it's very interesting and worth introducing. So here we are. After Mia embarks on this thrilling journey to the islands, the residents on the island hope that Mia can help them to fight against some monsters. And once again, Mia and other characters embark on a road trip. They're going to find some gems, like special stones, magic stones. They even fly over oceans, climb some mysterious mountains, and race against each other on the rainbow. Sounds very colorful. I'm pretty sure kids will love this animation because it sounds very magical, fantasy, and colorful. Besides all the exciting adventures, they're going to meet some new friends, including one unicorn. The unicorn is sometimes grumpy, happy, sometimes crazy, and maybe it's easily hurt. But at the same time, they need to fight against the army of the monsters. But stories gonna have some obstacles while they're searching for the magical stones. Mia realizes that if she collects all the stones, she might not be able to go back to her home. I don't know why, but that's the setting of the story. So she has to make a very difficult decision, whether to go back to her life as a human or to stay here to save the magical world, the magical kingdom. So we can guess, of course, Mia is going to decide to collect all the stones selflessly to save the world with unicorns. But more is to come if you go to the theater and watch Mia and Me, the Hero of Centopia. Now let's listen to the second new movie we're going to talk about today. The Quintessential Quintuplets Movie. Teenage tutor Futaro Uesugi has to finally choose between the 5 Nakano sisters, who all have feelings for him. At the school's upcoming cultural festival, the event that will lead to his wedding to one of them in a flash forward.
この6人でずっとこのままの関係でいられたらと願ってる。だが答えを出さなければ。
The second new movie we're going to talk about today is a Japanese animation. It's the movie version of an existing anime. Its box office in Japan for the first 3 days was more than 390 million Japanese yen, and by now it's almost 2 billion. The story was adapted from a popular manga, and this movie version is the finale of the TV anime. It also cast all the awesome dubbers from the TV anime. As we heard in the introduction, the protagonist is a tutor, and he helps the 5 sisters to finally be able to graduate. So the story of this movie version starts after the graduation trip because the 5 sisters are going to graduate very soon. They start to think about their future. The original manga of the same name, the Quintessential Quintuplets, started in 2017. It's a romance comedy, but I believe this is made for boys. You see, one male protagonist with 5 female protagonists all have feelings for him. So the male protagonist is a poor high school student. In order to pay back the debt for his family, he becomes the tutor of the 5 sisters. And after they go through many activities on campus, the 5 sisters all have feelings for the protagonist. And just because the readers are very interested in the 5 sisters' campus life, or should I say their love life, the comic books were sold for more than 15 million copies and launched the TV anime in 2019 and 2021. And since the author told his audience in the very beginning that the protagonist will get married with one of the 5 sisters, all the readers will wonder whom he chooses in the end. And that's the most important part in this movie version. So if you are a fan of the Quintessential Quintuplets, or you're just a manga lover, you probably will want to witness the protagonist's final decision in this movie version. As I mentioned earlier, the very 3 days it was released, it got 390 million Japanese yen with its box office, and now it's going to be more than 2 billion. Its popularity is only next to Detective Conan, Doraemon, these iconic IP, even surpassed Crayon Shinjan, ranking as one of the top 5s in 2022. So I highly recommend you to watch this movie this weekend. And before we move on to Top 007, I have to warn you that the chart this week is very weird. But before we find out how weird it is, let's review what we had from last week first. We had 2 top 3s, DC League of Super Pets and Minions The Rise of Gru. Top 2 was Nope, and top 1, Bully Train. Let's check out what we have from top 7 to top 4. Top 4, Emergency Declaration.
나는 여기 비행기에 탄 사람들이 전부 죽었으면 좋겠어요.
Wait, that's it? Okay, that's exactly what I was talking about, that the chart this week is very weird. If we only have one movie from top 7 to top 4, which means there are 6 movies from top 3 to top 1, super crowded. But anyway, that makes Emergency Declaration the movie we must talk about. So what am I going to talk about today? I'd like to talk about the actors. First of all, the protagonist is played by Song Kang-ho, the award-winning Korean actor. He was one of the leading actors in Parasite, if you've seen that Oscar-winning film. And this year so far, he has 2 movies released, Broker and Emergency Declaration. Actually, in the past, he played mostly as a detective, just like this time in Emergency Declaration. But recent years, he has been playing regular Joes, or you can even say that he has been playing people from lower society status. But this time in Emergency Declaration, we get to witness how handsome, how charming he is as a detective once again. And the second actor I want to talk about is Im Si-won. He became an entertainment firstly as a member of an idol group, and I knew him through a Korean drama called Mi-san. I don't really watch Korean dramas, but I watched Mi-san because the topic is related to Go, which I play myself, and I believe that Korean drama is also the one that helped Im Si-won to become super famous. But just like Im Si-won himself, he was a model student, and all the characters he played before were kind of like the good boys, like the teacher's kid. But this time, He played the terrorist. So it's a very big breakthrough for him. If you are a fan of him, or you just like Korean movie, I recommend you to witness these two characters' excellent acting skills. And now let's move on to the crowded top 3 to top 1. Top 3. DC League of Super Pets.
I have an owner and...
Minions, The Rise of Gru. No.
What if I told you?
One Piece film, Red.
歌離れていてもお前は一生
Top 2. Top Gun, Maverick.
Captain Pete Maverick Mitchell.
Top 1. Bully Train.
Talk to me.
I am ready. You are getting the new and improved.
Wow, there indeed are 6 movies from top 3 to top 1. And just top 3 itself, it has 4 movies. But that proves that top 1 and top 2 are much better than the others. Since I mentioned that this episode is about animation, we have 3 animations actually from top 3 to top 1. We have DC League of Super Pets, Minions, The Rise of Gru. These 2 are from Hollywood. And we also have One Piece film, Red, that's a Japanese one. But let me be selfish. I'd like to talk about Bully Train one more time. Partly because it's top 1, and the other reason is that I haven't finished what I want to talk about last week. So last week, I mentioned some of the reasons why I liked Bully Train, but I also said that I didn't give it a very high score. So today, I want to mention at least one reason why I didn't like it very much. First of all, we all know that this movie is based on a Japanese novel. The background of the story is set in Japan. So basically, it contains a lot of Japanese culture. Some of the characters are even Japanese. So what I want to complain is that could they at least pronounce Japanese correctly? I mean, when Hollywood produces films related to, let's say, Russian or German, they sometimes even have accent trainer. And since Bully Train is produced by Brad Pitt, I don't think he can take budget as an excuse to explain it. But let me give you some examples. The city in Japan, Kyoto, is mentioned in the movie, and it's supposed to be pronounced as Kyoto. But everyone in the movie pronounces it as Kyoto. What? You have Japanese actors in the movies. At least respect their languages. It's not that you're going to say a whole sentence or what. You're just saying one word. Could you at least pronounce it correctly? And something else is like the green stuff that's very spicy from Japan. Wasabi. It's pronounced as wasabi. But Brad Pitt said wasabi, and he actually said it at least twice in the movie. So what's wrong with them? One of my friends said that when she went to the screening, everyone laughed very hard when these characters pronounced the Japanese words incorrectly. So she thought it on purpose. But I said, wait, that's because we're Taiwanese. We're so familiar with Japanese. We kind of heard a lot of these Japanese words growing up, but if it's an American, when they hear this word, they would think that this word is pronounced this way. Maybe you would say, oh, that's not important, but that's the point. You don't respect Japanese culture at all while you're making a film out of a Japanese novel, and the background of the whole story is set in Japan. But aside from that, I still love Bully Train. So if it's still on the chart next week, maybe I can talk more about how I like it. But for now, it's time for us to wrap up. Remember to tune in same time next week at Screen Scream. I'm Viola. Bye bye.